Hi, Christine. Alright, so I'm taping this part for Christine. No, I'm taping it for her right there. Okay, so let's talk about what we've noticed. Alright? So you have on here all of the frequency of the different amounts of numbers you got, right? So you made tally marks on there. Now, what we're actually going to do is I'm going to ask you today at intervention time, you're going to come up and you're going to put your tally marks on this big, long piece of graph paper, and I'll probably have to extend it further. Believe it or not, I'll probably have to go even further than this to get everybody on there. So I want you to look on the screen exactly what you're gonna do. For example, Ella, how many 2s are on your actual? Okay, so every single student will come up and mark because every student has one of these, correct? Right? So Ella will mark on the class chart everything here that's on her tallies, correct? And she will put them as X's on here. Okay? So, Ella, how many 2s did you get? 4. So it'll be X, 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 X. How many 3s did you get? 4. 4s? 6. So do you see what you're going to do?
Yes.
Okay, how many 5s?
3.
6. 8. Okay, 7s.
16. Whoa.
Okay, 8s.
19.
19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Did you say 16, 17, 18, 19? Okay, 9s.
11.
10s.
7.
Okay, 11.
3.
And 12.
4.
Okay, so every kid will come up and add. So now, let's say, Eleanor, where will you add? No, you're not going to do it now, but when you come up to do it, where will you actually mark on here?
Right after.
You'll just pick up the next box over, right? And the thing that's really good about this is that all the X's are going to be evenly spaced, correct? So we don't have to worry about the line not being truly, like, what if you wrote your tally marks really close and somebody else wrote them really wide? Then those tally marks might be less but look like a longer line. This way it's going to be uniform, correct? And that's what everybody will do. And when we're finished, we'll have a big long sheet of data to see what we actually come up with. Alright? Okay, so that will be on the long table here for intervention time today. Okay, now, let's talk about this. Did anybody notice on the frequency chart any patterns? What did you notice on the frequency chart as a pattern? Okay, so what did you notice on the frequency chart? William?
Well, 7 seemed to appear more than most numbers, especially on Callie's chart, because it was a ratio of 25 to the closest number 18. And 2 was super rare.
Okay, so you noticed 2 was rare, and 7 seemed to be plentiful.
Because
Right.
I remember on the first round we had 86 rolls,
Uh-huh.
and that was about 15 7s. Would have won if I put them all on 7,
Gotcha. Alright.
but I put them all in a straight line.
Gotcha. Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you. Okay? Did anybody else notice that pattern? The pattern of 2 being not very often as a roll that you get, and 7 being more often than 2. Okay, so I see lots of hands up for that. Right? Okay? Now, here's what I would like for you to explore for a few minutes. Look at your patterns here on the frequency chart. Notice at the bottom, there is a matrix. Okay? This is a matrix. Okay? This matrix at the bottom, what that is, Devin, is a way for you to come up with what all happens to get certain things. Okay? For example, how would I get a 2 by rolling 2 dice? How would I get a 2? Yes, Tristan.
Snake eyes.
Snake eyes. What else? Nothing else. That's it. So what you're saying to me, Tristan, is that if I roll a red die and it comes up with a 1, and I roll a blue die and it comes up with a 1, that's snake eyes, right?
Right.
So there's one way to get a 2. And it is right here. 1 red and 1 blue. Okay? So this gives me a 2. Correct? Agreed? That's how I get a 2. Okay? How do I get a 12? Tristan?
You can only roll 2 6s.
And that's the only way to get a 12. And the only way to get a 12 is to roll 2 6s, and there's the 12.
I didn't know it's a pattern.
Okay? Now, here's what you do. With your elbow partner, work together and see if you can figure out the rest of every box on this chart. Okay? See if you can figure out every box on that chart.
Green.